Hello, it's Dave here again, doing another Cinemile. I'm here with my wife, Cathy.
Hello.
And we're here with special guest, Tessa. Hello,
Hi.
Tessa. So Tessa's come over to our house to watch The Bachelor with Cathy, which
Yes.
we could probably do a whole
fortnightly bachelor sleepover.
Yeah, it's an established routine now in which I get to do whatever I want because the two of them. Oh, someone's got a projector set up.
Ooh.
Oh, look at them. We're just staring into other people's houses. Yes, so we could probably do a whole podcast just on The Bachelor.
We'll do that if we get audience demand. We will do it. So let us know.
Yeah, let us know if anyone is watching The Bachelor, because these two have a lot to say.
We know all about it.
About it. So
we probably won't have time in the 6-hour finale.
Yeah, that show is long.
We could do a separate show.
Yeah.
Is every episode like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we were just watching one of the Bachelor. What do you call them? Bachelorettes.
We won't talk about The Bachelor now because most people don't like it.
What? You're
Well,
kidding me.
we love it, but
It's like I can sense the popular demand for this.
But the main reason we've got Tessa on the podcast
Oh
tonight,
yeah, we're going to a movie.
Yeah, we have Tessa because, aside from being our very good friend, she is Australian and we're going to see an Australian movie.
Yay!
And what is that movie, Tessa? Tell us about this, because I know very little about it.
So Nicole Kidman's in it. Dev Patel is in it. It's directed by an Australian director. It's his first feature, I think. He directed a pretty amazing Australian miniseries called Top of the Lake.
That was the one with the woman from Mad Men in it,
Elizabeth
was
Moss from Mad Men.
There you go.
Like murder, crime.
You know what you're talking about.
Miniseries.
It's so good to have someone on the podcast who knows what they're talking about.
I'm really excited about this one. I feel like it's going to be a goodie. There's a lot of awards buzz for it. I think it's meant to be fairly optimistic. I don't think it's particularly downtrodden, but I'm looking forward to it.
I found out how it ended. Well, it's a true story. So spoilers for the truth. I'm not going to say...
Based on a book.
it was a book as well, was it?
Yeah, so there's a book.
A memoir.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's not how you say that word.
Which then became a 60-minute story in Australia, I think in about 2012, 2013. And now they've made it into a movie.
Cool.
And so mainly we need Tessa to judge the Aussie accents. Dev Patel, I thought he sounded good in the trailer, but you never know.
Yeah, what are you feeling, Tessa? What's your feeling from the trailer?
I think his accent sounds amazing. I don't think Rooney Mara, who plays his girlfriend, I don't think she is meant to be Australian.
Okay.
She's the only fictional character, I think.
They need to sex it up a bit.
I think she's got, an American accent.
What about
Will she have the fringe from Carol? That's what I need to know. Because that was an incredible fringe.
Quality fringe.
Yeah.
And what about Nicole Kidman's accent?
Well, it's questionable the best of times.
And is it it's an
Return
Aussie
Rider.
movie because it was shot in Australia. It's an Australian director.
Yeah, they shot it between Tasmania and India. So I think it's basically in two halves almost.
Oh, it's Tasmania.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I guess we should say, for anyone who doesn't know what the movie is about.
Oh yeah.
I guess from what I understand, it's a boy who went missing from his hometown in India. Essentially, got lost. And then he was so young he didn't know where he was from or what town, and he just got separated from his parents.
No, he ended up on a train across India.
Train, went to the other side of India, and he couldn't speak the local dialect, didn't know what the town he was from was called, didn't know his family name. So he gets taken into an orphanage and then adopted out to an Australian family, and then attempts as an adult, like 25 years later, to retrace that train journey to find his family.
I hope it's good because it's often this isn't quite a biopic, but often movies based on memoirs and stuff can be a bit like...
What was that word, Cathy?
Memoirs. They can be a bit staid or a bit saccharine, or I don't know, they don't always work for me, but I feel like this one will because it's such a beautiful... we've been to Tasmania, it's so beautiful. Obviously India looks amazing on screen, so it's going to look fabulous. And it's a really good cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling optimistic about this.
Yeah, I'm feeling really optimistic.
All right, so what's the minimum amount of tears that will be required for this to achieve?
I never cry in movies, but so maybe
You never cry in movies?
Never cry?
No, I never cry in movies.
What is your heart
The
made
only
of?
movie I've ever cried in is My Girl, when she reads the poem about the willow.
Oh, yeah.
He can't see without his glasses!
Yeah.
That's not her poem, Dave.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's what she says.
Yeah, but the poem was when she's in the classroom with the
Cathy,
teacher.
he can't see without his glasses.
Anyway,
Put
we're
his
getting off
glasses
track.
on.
We're getting off track.
Yeah, we're getting off track.
It's
But
getting
I'll cry at
cold.
least 10 times, I reckon.
All right.
It's freezing. Like
freezing.
we're like dedicated.
Let's
to
wrap this up. We're
Me and
nearly.
Tessa stopped watching The Bachelor to come out for this.
Intro.
Yeah, so it better be good.
Yeah. Things get long here
Better
when
be
we gotta
good.
guess.
And
All
Tessa,
right.
does it feel strange to be on the podcast, being such an avid listener?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you feel starstruck?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Starstruck, yeah. Can you believe that you're actually meeting us in real life? It must be weird for you.
It must be weird, yeah.
And
She normally,
going
Yeah.
to movies with you.
he normally only hangs out with us like on our sofa.
And
watching
The
TV.
Bachelor tonight's just...
Yeah, too good.
All right.
the best.
Well, we'll see you guys in approximately 2 hours.
Bye.
That won't be that long for you. Maybe I'll just put like filler music in for 2 hours.
think you
You can
should.
experience the movie. Okay, bye.
Do you have any idea what it's like? How every day my real brother screams my name.
I always thought that I could keep this family together. I need you, Sarah.
What if you do find home and they're not even there? And you just keep searching?
I don't have a choice.
What was she like?
Beautiful. Every night I imagine that I'm walking those streets home, and I know every single step of the way. And I whisper in her ear, I'm here.
Okay, so we're just out of Lion. I need to compose myself for a second.
I've been weeping for 20
oh my
solid
God.
minutes.
I don't think I've cried so much in a movie in a long time.
Me and Dave cried so much, and I heard everyone in the cinema crying, and then I turned to the monster sitting
Stony
next to
faced
me.
Tessa here.
I was just
Unbreakable.
opening my Maltesers.
No, can we address the
Are you a serial killer?
the real crime of the movie, which was Cathy's timing as to when she eats popcorn.
The pinnacle emotional scene of the movie. And
Complete
CC
silence.
goes in about 4 times.
Like
to the
punctuated.
ruffliest popcorn bag in history.
You bought the bag!
Yeah, but you should know when to open it, and it's not when Nicole Kidman is like pouring her heart out at like this
Her Oscar
pivotal
monologue
moment.
scene.
Yeah, it was an Oscar monologue. Yeah, but I suddenly realised I was really hungry, and I was like, oh. Anyway.
Okay, so
I do realise how loud it was.
Well, let's go to Tessa first. Let's get the Australian point of view.
Yeah, I really liked it. I had very high expectations. I think the pace was a little bit off because I did notice myself getting, conscious of the fact it was slow at certain points, which is never a good sign.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I think the last third was stronger. The first and last third were the strongest.
That's pretty much exactly what I wanted to say. I completely agree. I think like that first, the first third of the movie I just thought was so gripping. Like the story is just fascinating, and the director puts you right there with that boy.
Yeah.
Like you just feel every moment of that journey, and it's terrifying.
He was so
That little
cute.
kid actor is excellent.
He's the best kid actor I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a lot of it was because he was so cute, right? Like he's the physically cutest thing I've ever seen. But he was such a good actor as well.
so
'cause
good.
so much of it was without words.
Good, no?
Oh God!
My heart broke.
Yeah.
My heart was breaking for that first third of the movie, and like, it's surprisingly dark. Like there was a real darkness,
yeah.
an underlying darkness for a PG movie.
He was really under threat, the kid.
The threat
Yeah.
was very real, very palpable, several times, and but yeah, as you said, the end. I mean, the payoff was sensational.
Yeah.
What about you, Cathy?
Which is impressive given that you know that that's how it ends. Like I knew that's how it ended, and I was still like quite taken aback by how powerful it was.
It's just because they've brought you on this journey, and even when you know where it's going, it's the emotion. Like, yeah, I was overwhelmed.
So I thought that it was what I loved actually, and I wasn't expecting to spend so long in the movie in India with the young boy because Dev Patel's such a big name, and I knew it was an Aussie movie. I thought he would be in most of the movie, was really pleasantly surprised that actually it wasn't, and that's how I got so invested in it, because you really felt like you knew the kid and you felt like you'd lived his horror, and you just felt like you'd lived the journey, and you just felt every minute of it. So then by the time we got to Dev Patel as a grown-up, I felt really invested in him. He almost didn't have to do anything. I mean, he's a fantastic actor, but I already bought it. And then...
I mean, just raising the girly question too.
When
Has
did
he
get so
gotten
hot?
very attractive?
I
would
was
say.
shocked.
I mean, obviously he's like 6'3", so I'm in, but he's gotten very attractive
He
since
suddenly
Skins.
blossomed into a man.
He had a totes hot bod, let's face it.
I think the last thing I saw him in was Best Marigold Hotel,
Yeah.
which he's like fine in, but this was physically
I
he was
actually-
transformed, but also he's such a good actor. Like there's
Yeah,
large
he was
chunks of the movie
amazing.
where he's looking at a computer screen and was
Yeah.
completely moving me in that.
Yeah, he was excellent in it. But
And
I,
his Australian accent, spot on.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was a good accent, wasn't it?
As
Top
expected,
marks.
slightly better than Nicole Kidman.
But I want to talk about Nicole Kidman. I love seeing her in a supporting role like that.
Yeah, I thought she was really good actually.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought
lovely.
that dynamic when they first bring Saru home is probably my favourite part.
Oh, that was beautiful. Yeah.
Just like how challenging that would be to, have a child in your house who, is yours forever and doesn't speak the language. Like it would be
Yeah.
a very hard thing to go through, I
And
think.
David Wenham, my favourite actor. I did not know
Yeah.
he was in it.
yeah, he's excellent.
He's in Top of the Lake, so it makes sense.
It's
Yeah.
crossover here.
It did look very in the style of Top of the Lake. Like I'm not surprised it's by the same director.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the direction, because I thought it was beautiful, the movie.
Yeah.
The cinematography in both India and Tasmania was stunning. There's a real
Yeah.
sort of stillness to a lot of this. There's a lot. The movie is all about landscape. It's about studying geography.
Yeah.
And I think it
did
starts
that
off
really
straight
well.
away with some beautiful topological
Yeah.
sort of top-down shots.
To play the devil's advocate slightly, I think they're such different landscapes anyway that the contrast of the two is
Yeah.
amazing anyway.
It helps, didn't it?
So that helps.
And did you think that the way the director chose to tell it, I thought was so interesting, because the director really had us retreading Saru's steps quite a
Yeah.
lot. So by
Yes.
the time, so we kept seeing the kid going down these same streets. Then when we saw it on Google Maps, like we recognised the streets. And then when Dev Patel finally goes on those streets, your heart's in your mouth, because you're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I really felt like
the way
invested in it.
The way he visualized memory
Yeah.
playing out was, you felt, I mean, we've all sort of felt that feeling of nostalgia when you go to, you revisit your
and
old
the thing
primary
with the
school
smell
or
and those
things like
sweets, like he obviously
Yeah.
smells the smell
Yes.
of those sweets that
So
he
real,
wanted
like-
so badly to be able to afford as a kid. That then just in front of him in his friend's house in
There's like
Hobart,
30 of them.
that. That's
that
such
kind
a
of I
powerful
guess
moment.
starts this whole quest to try and find home.
What did you think of the kid, like the actual character, the kid himself? I was so blown away. He's 5. He's so industrious. He's so clever. He's got self-preservation. Like he lives on the streets for 2 months in
Yeah.
Calcutta. I would wonder, I'd be interested to read the book or read kind of the facts versus reality, because at one point, there was certain threats hinted at about the kid, and I wondered if those scenarios actually happened or if they were being embellished.
No, I think they did happen. From everything that I remember about the 60-minute story, he remembered that period of time really, really vividly,
As you would, because
Yeah.
that's
It's been so
a
horrifying.
traumatic
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
which makes sense given, exactly, that it was so traumatic.
Okay, yeah. So we should go to Spoiler Street now, shouldn't we?
No, I don't. I think we can still talk a little bit generally, unless there's something specific you want.
Yeah, I
want
want to talk
about.
specific.
No, I'd rather talk. I have a couple of things to say first.
Oh, okay.
Couple of criticisms.
Ooh.
I think.
You bastard! You want to criticize
Well,
that
no.
movie?
Okay, first of all, can we all agree? I think that was an excellent movie.
Yeah,
I think it was
Very worthy
beautifully
of
directed.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely
praise it's
worthy.
getting, and the fact that it's Australian's a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't at all like, boring biopic. It was
It's
just
just-
incredible.
No, because the story is just so fundamentally powerful.
Yeah.
I think great performances, beautifully directed. So I think just top notch. But I'm kind of with you, Tessa. If I am to be a little bit negative, I think that the middle kind of lost me a bit. I think
Yeah, the middle
that
dragged.
jump to that 20-year jump is a little bit hard to adjust to,
Yeah.
and it does sort of pick up again. But
And I think having it in text almost made it worse. Like I think You don't really,
didn't really need it.
You
We
don't
get
really
it.
need that.
It's
like
Saru.
we know it's that much later. They're calling him Saru if you wait 2 minutes if you're confused. Like,
Also, yeah, like we know Dev Patel's the star of this movie.
I think my main criticism is that I felt like Rooney Mara's character didn't really add
Yeah,
No.
she felt fake.
much to it.
But is that because
I mean-
Tessa told her she was fictionalized? I wonder if that was
Yeah.
influencing.
No,
I thought-
possibly, but I felt like her character really was only there so Dev Patel could have someone to talk to.
Well, they
yeah.
needed a plot device. They needed
Yeah.
they needed him to have a sounding board and a friend or a partner to talk to, right? So, like, fair enough.
Yeah, fine. And look, she's a good actress, and she did
They
a
had
good
good
job
chemistry.
with what very little she had. But
See, I kind of disagree on that note. I mean, I, in fairness, don't really like her anyway. And I think if she was going to be there, she needed to be a much lighter character than she was. I still think she does that broody thing that she does.
Yeah, she was very intense.
And I think to complement him being that character, they needed, if you're going to write someone in, write someone who's the complete opposite of that. And I don't know that she was enough.
so you think somebody who's has a bit more levity, or is a bit more
Yeah, like just had a bit
jovial?
more spirit. I don't know that. Yeah, I think she
because
still
it's hard
seemed,
to describe her character. Really.
Yeah.
What was like
She was like the character in
she was-
Carol, but without the fringe and the fabulous
yeah, like
clothes.
same
No,
character she
the
plays.
character in Carol was very well written.
No, but this one wasn't badly written. She was just.
No, she was.
but
Name
she
two
only-
things about
she
that
only
character.
Served a function of. She only served the function of being a plot device.
But that's it. There was no character. She was a student, and she loved Dev Patel. Those
Yeah.
were her two defining
and for some
characteristics.
reason she moved from New York to Melbourne. But can we go into Spoiler Street? I want to talk about something.
Okay, we're going on to Spoiler Street now. Turning on. This is your 5-second warning.
Oh, I've never been to
We-
Spoiler Street.
This is it. Yeah. What do you think?
Beautiful.
Is it everything you
What's
expected?
the postcode?
It's SP01.
S1.
Yeah. Right,
Okay.
Cathy, spoil it away.
Okay, firstly, I was so confused by the geography. He seemed to flip between Melbourne and Hobart like every 2 minutes.
No, he was only in Hobart he was only in Melbourne for the first.
Yeah, when he was in university, he was in Melbourne.
And then
Then he
from
moved.
that
They
point
moved
on,
back to
they were
Hobart.
in Hobart.
Oh, so she lived in Hobart too?
Yeah,
Okay, that
because
made a bit
obviously
more
you'd
sense.
moved from New York to Hobart.
Yeah, I mean we've been in Hobart, right? It's a great city, but for a day maybe. Why? Okay, that cleared that up for me because I just kept getting confused. And then
Tessa, this is the part of the podcast where Cathy gets into nitty-gritty, nitpicky details about things.
I forgot about. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about and we had to do it in Spoiler Street. So both brother characters were really interesting. So I felt like the adopted brother in Australia, got a hard time in the movie.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that is accurate, or is it
I don't
from this
remember
guy's
there being
perspective?
Any reference? Like, I knew he had a brother, but aside from that, I hadn't heard anything else about him. So I was surprised by that too. That
Because
he
it was
such a
really difficult. Yeah, and it
Very-
made sense. I mean, if he's adopted and he's got because
Yeah, I mean,
Saru had
was-
had a lovely childhood until the last 2 months before he
Yeah.
was adopted.
Yeah, but
and
we don't
seems
know that.
almost too good to be true as to have slipped into that life seemingly easily. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So, I have a question. Was that the same boy who we saw banging his head
I
against?
don't know.
I don't
I think
know.
it was a different
I
name.
think it was a different.
I think
boy.
it was a
Yeah,
different
I think so
boy.
too. But they did when he was banging the knife against his head. I did have that thought, but I'm
It
sure they had
seems-
different names.
Yeah, like it seemed a little bit too
Yeah, it would have been too
similar
obvious.
that
Too
it would have
convenient.
been. Yeah.
And then what did you think about the bit in Calcutta when we think, because it's a PG movie, but it was kind of implied a woman picked him up and
Oh,
was grooming
very
him for
much
a paedophile
heavily
ring?
applied. Yeah,
That was
For sure.
shocking. And
Yeah.
all the stuff with the kids was just so sad.
the kids being picked up was surely for
I
nefarious
know.
reasons.
And
as
it was
well.
terrible to think this poor kid, he can't speak the language, he's trying to get help and no one will speak to him.
That's I mean that's like quite a shocking thing to think about.
It's
Like
so
if there was a
shocking.
kid on the street here
Like that would
at
never
a
happen.
train station trying
Yeah.
to buy a ticket,
Here-
not only would people not be pushing him out of the way, but people would be trying to help. And I think that
but they're
just
saying there's 80,000 homeless kids in the
Exactly.
streets
Well,
of India.
here's the thing. We like to
8,000 a year
think
go
that.
missing is that statistic.
Oh,
There's like
God.
2 million homeless or something.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's insane.
I thought can we talk about how I think that movie did a lot for highlighting, well, poverty. There's only so much you can do, but it really put you in that position of
Yeah,
poverty. It made
you didn't feel like
made
it
you
was,
feel it.
It was
Yeah.
because it was all the stuff in India was experienced by Indian people, And interestingly, right before it, we saw a trailer for something that looked terrible with Gillian Anderson and the guy from Downton Abbey about white people in India.
Yeah.
And it looked like Downton Abbey, but set in India.
They need to go and watch Lion.
Yeah, it looked terrible. And then the other thing that was so sad was his real life brother died on the same day.
Yeah.
Like the same day, I know.
Shocking.
But it
That
makes
was,
sense.
I didn't know that at all.
It makes
Why he
such
didn't
perfect
come back.
sense, yeah. And I would never would have put that together.
Yeah.
I just thought that the kid,
Oh.
Saru, woke up really quickly and got straight on a train almost because he was disorientated and the brother just hadn't come back yet.
I think they made that seem like it happened quite quickly. And
which is
again,
clever
just because I'd
filming.
like heard the story before, I knew it was like
Like, it was a
some
good
period
twist.
of time. But yeah,
And then
So
also,
sad.
it was so sad. And what did you guys think of I was a bit confused in Tessa. The footage at the end might be footage you've seen before.
Yeah.
So in real life, did the Australian parents go back with him?
just the mum went back with him. Yeah,
So what we saw at the very end, the real life
This
footage,
from
was that the first time
60
they
minutes. Yeah.
met? So 60 Minutes flew with him when he flew.
So I think Saru went by himself initially.
Oh, good.
like
So he
Clark
did
in
do
the
it on his
film,
own. Okay. Yeah.
and then he took his mum back with him.
Oh, because I was thinking, God, they really left that off. So there was a film
yeah,
crew
I
with
felt
him.
like it did end quite quickly. Actually, I sort of in my head thought there must have been that he'd go back to Tasmania. There'd be a bit more of a resolution with Lucy, and that his mum would say, "Can I come with you to meet her?" Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that we didn't see
Yeah,
Lucy
I don't think it
again.
needed
I
it.
don't think
The
we needed
reunion
more
scene-
Lucy.
The reunion scene was so beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
so beautiful, and she was an excellent actress as well.
that was the same girl that was
Yeah.
the young mum. Just in
It was
like,
good,
Yeah, they
good
aged her
makeup.
up.
God, she was
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
And it was so. There was another scene where we were just like, "What a dick!" when he met all his uni friends, and one of them went, "Your mother couldn't read or write, and she was a labourer." I was like, I don't think
Yeah, that
anyone
guy's
would
a
be.
dick.
I don't-
Yeah, that one guy. I was like, you could have spread all those negative comments
I
out
know.
amongst the group.
And also, I was like, it's a bit ridiculous. Their first day in uni, first day of uni, meets the love of his life, makes a load of Indian friends, is invited to an
Yeah.
Indian party that
I was
night,
like,
and
that's-
begins his flashbacks.
Well, it
So I
mightn't
was
have been his
thinking there
first
was
day.
like this might be the case, but there seemed like a lot of Indian people in that one
class.
hospitality class
Yeah.
in Melbourne.
And
Yeah.
then, like literally that one night, he's like, it seems like the 20 years he was living perfectly happily in between when we saw him and he
Changed,
came
yeah.
back again, and then he saw one Indian food. I guess he probably would never have been exposed to Indian culture, really, though, being in Hobart in the 80s.
I think you have to
Yeah.
forgive it some dramatic.
Oh yeah, I totally forgive it.
And I also, I mean, I don't think it could have been any longer. Like, I think it was long enough. So.
Yeah, I thought it was a perfect length. The
So beautiful.
I must say, we were talking about that Nicole Kidman monologue earlier that Cathy was rustling
Yeah.
her popcorn bag through. That didn't really work for me at all, to be honest.
No,
thought
I think it fell a bit flat as
Yeah.
well.
It just felt really forced.
it's like, and also I personally was averse to that character's description of like a vision of a 12-year-old of a brown
Which
boy.
I think, from memory, is apparently what happened. But
Oh, I'm sure it is,
But
but
what's wrong with that?
I don't know. She sounds like the kind of person who like believes in angels and shit.
So first of all, my mother believes in angels, so I'm going to send her this podcast, and she won't guest on
Send
it
it to her. She'll be listening to this.
Secondly, what is wrong with a woman dreaming of adopting a child?
No,
From another
nothing. I thought she
country.
was a lovely character, and I thought the movie was made me want to adopt. I'll be honest. I thought for all the reasons she said, but it was just
This
the
is
whole.
a conversation we'll have to have off the podcast.
yeah,
I
I didn't
think.
know. I don't think it all had to happen.
No,
in
let's
one
adopt. I've just
conversation.
decided.
Also,
Let's
is
adopt
it
an
Dev-
Indian
so
child.
Dev, Dev Patel thought that his mother was infertile for 25 years. It never came up in conversation
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah, but I guess it's not something you ask. Like maybe.
Yeah, especially as a boy, I think.
We need to point out that apparently our upstairs neighbours have moved out, but there's lights on in there. So, unless someone new has moved in. Sorry, I'm just spying on our neighbours.
And I'm pretty sure she can hear you. So good job.
Yeah, so we need to wrap up anyway, but verdict is we all love it.
Yeah,
Everyone should
I
go
really
see
liked
it.
Yeah,
Bring
Yeah.
a box of tissues, but don't bring a packet of popcorn.
Unless you're as
Buckets
hard
only.
as nails.
Yeah,
like Tessa.
Tessa, I'm really disturbed that she's sleeping in our house now. I feel like we have a monster coming.
She might murder us. I feel nothing. All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening. And thanks, Tessa, for
Yeah, thanks,
coming
Tessa.
coming
Thanks
all
for
the way
having
over from
me.
Australia
Yeah.
to guest with us.
Yes,
to judge accents.
she flew right over from Sydney first thing this morning.
Yeah.
All right. If you think, if you watch the movie and you think that Dev Patel's Australian accent was also up to scratch, let us know on Twitter @TheCinemile.
Also, how attractive he is on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, I never fancied him before this
No, me
movie. He's
neither.
hot now.
Okay, do you want to make a Twitter poll about how attractive Dev Patel is in this movie? I'm happy for you to run this one.
No, I
I
mean,
think accent's a better poll.
I think accent's a better poll. Also, everyone would agree he's hot, so it would be a waste of a poll.
Okay,
And also, only me and Tessa would vote on it.
perfect. And stay tuned for Cathy and Tessa's special extra Bachelor podcast
Oh yeah, we've got to
coming
go.
up soon.
We've got 2 hours to watch tonight, and it's already about 10:30.
Right.
No, 10 past 11.
Oh,
Make it-
nice. Okay, bye.
Bye.